I have tons of advice. I would say it's probably two things. Uh, One, I would recommend they actually go back and read their MBA essay and reconnect with that vision that motivated them to apply, that pushed them to working hard to getting into the program. I would encourage them to do that. The reason I would encourage them to do that is because it helps recenter ourselves in historical fact, or at least where we were mentally, emotionally when we made that decision. Um, that may be insightful for some people to go back and do that reading and help and use that as a guide as they're considering what's going to happen, post MBA. What's going to happen when you're no longer surrounded by a high concentration of the top, academic or high achieving or whatever people, and you go back out to the world where the distribution is definitely different. So that would be one recommendation. I think the second, I maybe have three. The second would be to really think through that framework of like, what do you care about? What are you passionate about? What are you really good at? And where do you want to use that for yourself? It may be that you want to be, or are slated to be CFO in an organization. Okay, that's great. But as long as you're clear on it and have an understanding and feel confident in that, I do think it's worthwhile to kind of revisit that framework of passion, skills, and then demand. Um, I guess the third piece of advice that I would offer for people who are, looking at, who are about ready to leave, um, and I would be remiss if I didn't say this, especially if you talk to my classmates and my friends now, is uh, double down on the people. Really spend the time, take the time to try and make some meaningful connections with people that are both within your circle and people that may be in secondary or tertiary rings of your inner circle. Because it really is a blessing for 2 years, if you're in your program, to be surrounded by such different, accomplished, people who, for no other reason other than you guys being classmates, or you folks being classmates, will spend the time to be authentic and have meaningful connections with you. You may not get that afterwards, or at least not in that high level of a dose. So I would say double down on the people, and I can guarantee you won't be disappointed. Years out, forever having spent an extra time getting a coffee, going for a walk, grabbing a meal, or having a conversation with somebody that's your classmate.